Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 2 from volume 2. This is Winds of Change, and it came out January 1994. And this issue doesn't seem to really have any connection to the previous one. So once again, I'm kind of left confused of what the previous issue was all about. Was that just a whole vision thing? Was that something Mikey made up? Does that have any kind of connection to the actual main run? I don't know, because this doesn't address that in any way. But this was a good issue. I liked it a lot better than the first one. So in this issue, we have the Turtles. Well, we have 3 of the Turtles. We have Raphael, Leonardo, and Michelangelo. And they are just chilling out in Casey Jones's basement. Well, his basement apartment. And they're bored. Michelangelo is working on a diary. Leonardo is just kind of throwing cards into a box. And Raphael is just complaining about how this sucks and how bored he is and how there's nothing to do. And Leonardo asks Mikey what he's doing. He's like, oh, I'm working on a journal. I've decided I'm going to start a journal and just kind of write down, what goes on and stuff in our lives. And Raphael's like, did you write down how boring this is, how much this sucks? And Michelangelo says, sort of. You see, I have this code for you, Raph. Letter A, hates everything. B, hates everything and is openly aggressive. C, off by himself sulking. And then we just see this little kind of funny moment where Raphael stares angrily at Mikey, and then Mikey writes down A. And then he throws a pillow at him, so then Mikey writes down B. And then he says, I'm moving out. And then he writes down C. But yeah, he basically called out Raphael, and yeah. So Raph leaves. Leonardo is just kind of thinking, you know what, this place is kind of cramped. Like, maybe we should leave. We should go somewhere. Like, it was nice of Casey and April to give us their basement apartment, but it is really small. It's really cramped. And one of these days, like, one of the other tenants in the apartment building, they're going to hear us. And they might find us out. So, yeah, let's go find someplace else for us to live. And Michelangelo's like, what about Raph? And Leo's like, well, Raph's old enough to make his own choices. And then that's when we cut to DARPA, somewhere in the Southwest. And we see this one dude showing up, and his buddy, fellow soldier, pulls out a gun on him and demands him to give him, the password. And he's like, all right, the password is donut. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? And the guy's like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm really scared. Like, they brought a body in today. They're doing something with it in the next room. I have no idea what's going on. Things are just kind of weird. And that's when they hear, like, what sounds like a gunshot in there. So they go inside to investigate. And they see one of their buddies dead on the floor. And that's when the, what looks like a machine gun attached to the ceiling just comes to life and starts blasting one of the guys and kills him. And then it turns to the other one and shoots him dead. And then that's when we see Baxter. And he was inside the room the entire time, and he steals one of, like, the key cards from one of the dead soldiers, and he's gaining security access to the lab. What exactly he's doing, we don't really know, but he's messing with something that he shouldn't be messing with. That's when we cut to Donatello, who's living on Casey Jones's farm. That played a huge part in Volume 1. And he hears people showing up, so he hides. And it turns out that the people are some kind of religious folk who leave a pamphlet called The Guiding Light. So, yeah, even now in the middle of nowhere, you have to deal with Jehovah's Witness or Mormons or whatever this religious group is. You can't escape them. And then that's when we cut to Leonardo, who's, like, running across the building. He's just kind of thinking about the fact that his family is breaking apart. They're moving away from each other. And he's kind of wondering why. Is it because Splinter is no longer with us? Splinter's not dead, by the way. He's just, or at least I don't think he's dead, unless that thing from the first issue, about burying Splinter is actually true, and this takes place after that vision that Splinter had happened. I don't know. But he's, I guess, not around. Maybe he's in Japan or so. He's somewhere, or dead. I don't know. But he's not with the Turtles. And so, because of that, Leo's thinking, is it because Splinter's not here? Like, was he the bond that kept us together all these years? Was it because of the foot? Was it because we were united in taking out the foot, and now that the foot are no longer around, there's nothing to keep us together. Like, that's the only bonds that we had. Is it just some kind of evolutionary thing that we're going through where as we grow older, we grow apart? And as he's like reminiscing about this, he hears gunshots and he looks over and he witnesses a drive-by where this kid gets blasted and killed. And Leo jumps on the car, pulls out his katana, stabs it through the engine of the car, and the car crashes into a pole and launches Leo and the driver out of the car. And Leo, like the headlights of the car are shining on Leo, and Leo's like, all right, I gotta get the hell out of here. I can't be seen because I mean I'm a giant turtle, so I gotta hide. So he rushes away, jumps on top of a building, and he just kind of lays there for a bit. And then when he looks over, he sees that the police have arrived, and the kid that was shot is dead. And Leo's upset about that. He's like, why? Like, there's no sense in our reality. Like, the only to wish otherwise is denial. To deny is foolish. Like, some would say that that kid's destiny was to die on the sidewalk today, but I can't accept that. I got to do something. You know, there's some kind of controlling order, like a sense of all this, instead of life just being a stream of chaos. But that's the leader in me. And he's like, some leader, like, because there's no one for him to lead anymore. And we cut to Baxter, and Baxter shaves his head, and he draws these lines across his head. And yeah, it looks like he's about to do some kind of operation. We see like this robotic thing behind him. So it looks like maybe he's going to do some kind of brain surgery. He's going to put like a robot or a computer in place of his brain. We don't really know. But he's going to do some kind of crazy experiment on his head. And that's how the issue ends. So yeah, I like this a lot more than issue number 1. This one, like, there was actually a coherent story for me to follow. It wasn't just a bunch of crazy, weird visions and dreams and stuff like that. And this one actually seems to be telling a story. Like, we have Donatello alone at the farmhouse. We have Raph just deciding to go on his own again for like the 50th time. We see the turtles just breaking apart, and just the bonds are no longer strong, and they're growing their separate ways. We have Leo kind of having a life crisis because, you know, he was born to be a leader, but now there's no one there for him to lead. And he wants to lead. He wants to do good. He wants to put law and order into the world, but all he's seeing is just chaos. And no, even when he gets involved, he's not able to stop that chaos. Like, he gets involved in the drive-by, but he's not able to save the kid from getting shot and murdered. So, and then of course we have Baxter doing some kind of crazy surgery on himself, using some kind of weird DARPA machinery. So, yeah, we're planting the seeds for something big going on. This was good. I liked it a lot better than the first one. And of course, we get some kind of like bonus story where we continue with the cat and giant robot. I have no idea where this is going. If this is going to play across in the Turtles in any way, or if this is just maybe some kind of like pilot for a spin-off series that's Eric Talbot and Jim Lawson want to do. I don't know. But yeah, basically the cat comes across the giant robot, hops on its shoulder, and just as a bunch of soldiers show up, and it looks like the cat and the robot are teaming together. The cat just chills on top of the robot's shoulder as the robot starts shooting up at the soldiers. Soldiers call for backup, and then more soldiers start showing up, and they have some kind of weird gun that they have to plug in, and they're going to shoot it at the robot and the cat, and then that's how the issue ends. So yeah, I have no idea what this little story is supposed to be. Maybe we'll find out. But yeah, that's just kind of thrown there. Anyways, there you go. There's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue number 2 from volume 2. Winds of Change came out January 1994. I liked it. I liked it a lot better than issue number 1. Step in the right direction. There you go. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later.